Alright, what is going on YouTube? Adonis coming at you with a brand new video, and today we are going to be looking at the top player from each position. Now, I specifically waited for the Super Bowl present promo to drop so we could compare these fresh. You know, we just got a bunch of new cards. You can see we're starting off with quarterback. Let's get into it. So for this specific position, it's kind of hard, right? There's a lot of different play styles. You could run a completely pass-heavy offense with like a 75 speed quarterback like we have our boy Kurt Warner, right? Or you could be a scrambler like Kyler Murray, right? So I kind of wanted to choose two quarterbacks, and I know we're immediately breaking the mold of this video, but it's for a good reason. You'll see why. The best overall quarterback, right, regardless of whether you run or pass the ball right now, is going to be the brand new Patrick Mahomes that we got, right? I think it makes so much sense. He's so good. His passing stats are so good. His release is very, very solid as well. Really good throw power, gets some fantastic abilities, and if he somehow throws for over 450 yards in the Super Bowl, he's going to get some cracked stuff, right? So he'll get like set feet lead for 3 AP. I think this card is phenomenal. Like, he's got a decent release. Slinger 2 is like not the best, but it's not the worst. It's kind of in the middle of the releases. Like, it's better at medium passes. Long passes might take a little bit longer to wind up on. But yeah, Pat Mahomes, kind of hard to argue that he's not one of, if not the best quarterback in the game right now. Now, looking at the other quarterback that we've taken, you guys can kind of see like a lot of these guys are very similar, right? We've got like Doug Williams, Aaron McNair, CJ Stroud. They all have the same speed. There's one quarterback on this list that has more speed than everyone else, and his name is Kyler Murray. And this card is going to be for our scrambling folks. Folks like to take off, get out of the pocket, want some really good after the line of scrimmage ability, I guess if you could call it, right? Because he's got 91 juke move, which is super good, and then he's also got very good passing stats. Slinger 4, really not the best release, so you would have to run Slinger on him, which again, 1 AP Slingers, whatever. Seffi lead, not as good probably of a choice, and then Hot Route Master on him for 2 AP is like pretty decent. So like if I were you, I'd probably throw Slinger on in this 2 AP spot, put Hot Route Master on him in his 2 AP spot, and then just leave it at that, right? I know a lot of people love set feet lead compared to Slinger this year. I kind of prefer Slinger just in case I am throwing on the run, like in case I am escaping outside of the pocket. So that's kind of my take on it. With a scrambling quarterback, I think Slinger is definitely more worth it than set feet lead. Now, moving to our next position, we have two players that are tied, but one gets the edge, right? So there's two players that are going to be tied are the CMC, the Christian McCaffrey that came out today, and Terrell Davis, right? Terrell Davis is a 95 overall that if you put in the upgrade lighted up token, he gets to 97 speed, right? This card is very good. But when we compare him with this CMC, right, who we get as an 87, but can be upgraded to a 95 with 97 speed, I think CMC gets the edge, man. It's really hard for me to look at this card and go, yeah, no, Terrell Davis is better. Like, this card is stupidly good, and it's free. Like, if you don't want to put the lighted up token in, which I'm pretty sure to get the last token you have to spend real money, so if you guys are no money spent, then don't put it in. But you still get a 96 speed running back with stupidly good catching stats, like just like a very good all-around back, right? So for that reason right there, CMC is going to be my guy that you should go ahead and pick up if you're looking for a new running back. I know I am. I'm rocking Devon Achane right now. Very good, but this CMC just looks crazy. Now we're going to skip over the fullback position. I know they don't get a lot of love and they won't here. Not really that much to go over, I feel like. Like, fullback's kind of a whatever spot for me, in my opinion. I don't run them and I don't play them really. Coming over to receiver though, it's going to be our two top guys right here, right? It's going to be Plax and Debo. For receiver, since there are so many cards, you need a 1 and a 2, and I think it's unfair to exclude either of these guys. Now, these two cards are super different, right? If we look at Plax, he's 6'5", 232, right? He's got 96 speed. He's super big and fast and can run down the field really well outside of like medium routes, can run short routes really well as well. And he's got that aggressive catch on yes for his player trait, right? So like a very good overall card. Gonna be just a go deep, go getter essentially, or like a red zone threat type of guy. And Debo's card is really different. Like if we come over to Debo's card, he's more of a jackknife, do it all kind of guy, right? Same speed, but he's 5'11", 215, right? But his short route running is a 97, which with strategy, you can probably easily get that to a 99 short route running. And I love having Debo on my team to run like super quick out routes and stuff like that. Like motion him into like a flat route essentially, and then just hit him super quick, let him get up the sideline. That's what this card's gonna be for. He's not really gonna take the top off defense with 92 deep route running. He can for sure, but he's not really gonna be built for that. And I think honestly, like the best thing you could grab on this card would probably be grab and go, because he's going to be coming under on like a lot of short routes, and you want him to be able to move super quickly, and grab and go is really a very underrated, I would say, ability in Madden. You don't get pulled into an animation after you catch the ball. You have full steering control. So that's what I would recommend on like a Debo card. On Plax's card, just run like red zone threat. If he gets that, I'm not 100% sure if he gets that. Deep elite, right, would not be a bad thing to get either. Yeah, like deep elite would probably go crazy on Plax. So that's probably what I would run if I were to pick up those guys. Wide receiver is definitely becoming one of the more like positions where we're seeing that separation. Like this Debo and this Plax are they are very much separated from everybody else at this point in the year. Now at the tight end spot, we've obviously got like Dave Casper, who, like, don't get me wrong, Dave Casper is fantastic, but I think Travis Kelce's a little bit better. I've played against both. I think Travis is just a little bit better. I don't know what it is. He's like maybe an inch or two taller and maybe 20 pounds heavier than Dave Casper, but like I feel like maybe it's his traits or something. Like he does aggressive catch, he fights for extra yards, has a high motor, rack catches and sideline catches well. I don't know what it is, but this Travis Kelce for me is the best tight end in the game. Yes, you heard it, over Dave Casper, which I know is kind of surprising because Dave is like such kind of like a anomaly, having that crazy medium route running. He's like an inch taller and like 20 pounds heavier, but for some reason Travis is just better. That's just my opinion on this. I like Casper. T. Kels is going to be that guy. And then we're going to skip over offensive linemen. So with that being said, we're going to be hopping into left end. And left end, I mean, this George Karlaftis is crazy. 94 speed at 6'4", 263, 96 power moves, 93 finesse moves. And you guys may be like, oh, he's a power rusher. He's not gonna be using his power moves. Joke's on you, because he does use all of those, finesse moves. He does use all of those finesse moves, right? He gets spin and swim as a player trait, right? So that 93 finesse moves does very much matter for this card. Very good card. I see why he's like 800k right now. I would love to play with this card. Also, these like achievement things, 3.5 sacks in the Super Bowl? Really, EA? Like, that's crazy. This guy gets 2 AP edge threat, just stick that on him and he'll go to work for you. At right end, I was kind of torn here, right? We've got 3 really good, like, top tier meta right ends, essentially, right? We've got Bosa, Chase Young, and JJ. And I was torn between this, but I think Chase Young, again, this is purely based on stats. These guys came out, like, today, a lot of them that are going to be in this video, right? So we just have to go off of stats and off of traits. Chase's 95 speed at 6'5", 264, right? He's hawking your favorite quarterback down. He's got 97 finesse moves, which is crazy, and 90 power moves. So he does at least hit like a high enough power move threshold to be able to utilize all of these traits that he has, right? He gets big hitter, high motor, yes to everything, does strip the ball, undisciplined on penalty, which is like, if you have strip ball on, he might get like a face mask. That doesn't really matter all that much though, unless you're like losing the game. But even then, like the likelihood that someone's gonna fumble is not that high. But yeah, this Chase Young card looks sick. I'm gonna be honest. Like I would not play this guy at D tackle, right? His strength is not going to be good enough for D tackle, but he will be fast enough off the edge to wreak havoc on some of even the better tackles in the game. Coming over to defensive tackle, we've got a couple of different guys that we could go with here. We've got like Quinnen, obviously looks great. Ed Oliver's like all right in my opinion. I think Sack 98 block shed on this card with 90 speed at 303 pounds. Are you kidding me? Speed rusher, right? So those finesse moves do matter a lot. But again, he gets yes on all of this, so he's going to use speed and power moves, which is very important for cards that have good in both stat areas, right? He's a speed rusher, but he will use power moves, and that's important. I think this card just looks sick, right? I also want to shout out EA, like the card art does look with like the pink bands running behind it. It does look pretty good. I'll give that to them. Abilities wise on this guy, I would just go like interior threat, 1 AP interior threat, maybe 1 AP inside stuff if you're kind of getting the ball run all over you. But like put this guy at D tackle and he's gonna destroy people, man. He looks crazy. Like this card looks awesome. So that's my pick for defensive tackle. At left outside linebacker, I mean there's different types of outside linebackers, right? We've got like coverage linebackers and then we've got pass rushing linebackers. I think regardless, Leo Chenal's card looks sick. So if he gets 10 plus tackles and a sack, which is an insane stat line in and of itself, he's going to get an additional 1 AP, right? Again, these objectives are like almost unhittable. So he's 6'3", 261. He gets a run stopper archetype. He's got decent finesse moves, right? I think this guy as a user would be great. He's got 70 zone as well. Like, bro, stick him in a cover 2 or a cover 3. If someone tries to run the ball on you, they're going to get killed. This card looks actually really good. I'm sure he's pretty decent off the edge as well. Like 95 speed with like a decent enough block shedding would get you by a lot of players, right? So I think this might be one of the more underrated cards, and he gets 0 AP Lurk Artist, which is huge. So yeah, like no outsiders would not be a bad one if you're putting him in purely as a run stopper. But like I would put this guy at edge and drop him into a zone, or user him, or just have him sit in a zone without, you know, worrying about him because he's gonna play it well enough. Like very versatile card, a kind of jackknife card, but on defense, like we were talking about with Deebo Samuel earlier. Very much like this one. I think you guys should definitely pick this guy up. He looks sick. Card art also, again, looks really, really good. At middle linebacker, there's like a couple of different cards we could go with here, right? We got like the Levante David, Derek Barnes, like Freddie Warner, right? Gronk, bro. Like it's Gronk at the end of the day, right? His zone and man are so good with his speed and size. I think it's hard to not say Gronk is still the best linebacker in the game, even though he came out around a month ago, like close to a month ago now. I'm recording this on the 8th of February. So like his power moves are good enough to get off blocks. Like I don't think there's much more to be said about this Gronk. Like it's a Redux is going for 700 or 800K. That'll tell you how crazy good this card really is. Now getting over to right outside linebacker, I mean, we just got the Dre Greenlaw, who's again kind of gonna be more of that like run stopper archetype that kind of will be able to like stop plays from developing anymore. And realistically, I think he's gonna be like the best value for your money here. 800K for a 95 speed, 6 foot, 230 pound linebacker that's got really, really, really good zone stats at 94 and like decent enough block shedding to where if you put him on the edge, he probably could be like all right. Definitely more of a pass coverage guy than Leo Chenal was, but like he could definitely still hang trying to get by some people. And he doesn't get any pass rush traits, which kind of sucks, but he does get big hitter and high motor, which is good, right? So he's gonna play very, very well, right? He's gonna be a high effort card. I think just in terms of like value for what you're getting like a card that's gonna fly around the field and very quickly too, I might add, for 800K. I think that it's kind of hard to overlook this card, especially when he's an LTD, right? Chenal's card is not an LTD. If it was, I'm sure it would be closer to this 800K price point. Coming over to corner, I saw two that I really like. First one, Charvarius, bro. This card looks sick. 6'1", 196. Unfortunately, only gets 91 speed, and if he gets two plus interceptions. What are we talking about, EA? What, dude? Like, that's crazy. He's got 95 speed, stupidly good jumping at 96. Very high man and zone, so this guy just like fits into so many different defensive builds, right? I think it's really hard to ignore a card like this. He's not going to be the best tackler, right? You want him playing on like guys that are going to be taking the ball deep and getting the ball deep, essentially like a Deebo Samuel, like a Plexico Burress. He should be a lockdown cornerback, like very, very, very good. And the other one I want to talk about is going to be Mel Blount, right? This guy is just going to stick on you in man. 97 speed, you can get that up to 98, right? Keep in mind, all these Super Bowl players, you can get them a +1 speed in Excel, right? So 97, potentially 98 speed on a 6'3" cornerback with 96 man coverage and 95 jumping. I mean, could you ask for a better, just all-around corner? Stupidly high zone as well. It's like, I mean, I don't even, like, if you have those two guys on your team, you're set, bro. These two cards look nuts. Very, very much like both of these guys. At free safety, there's like, I mean, there's a couple of guys that we could go with, right? There's Quandre. There's like Eric Berry, whose card looks sick, but we also have him as like a team captain. We've got Ronnie Hickman, who's like a good run support safety. Petrie is like decent, a little slow. Savage is decent, a little slow maybe. Ronnie Lott's like, in my mind, kind of the clear and obvious choice here. 96 speed on this Ronnie Lott at 6 foot. Pretty sure you can get him up to 97 speed. Again, on all these Super Bowl players, it's something you can do. So like 96 speed with like 97 zone, 93 man with stupidly high hit power as well at 97 with like good block shedding. Like, could you ask or want more from a card than Ronnie Lott? Like, I think he looks really, really good, and I would definitely recommend picking him up. I mean, this is pretty much like a Chiefs/Niners theme team video, it feels like, with a New York Giant massive wide receiver thrown in the mix for good measure. Ronnie looks fantastic, and we have a strong safety coming up from the Niners that looks low-key even better. So the last player I want to cover today is Jair Brown. This card looks stupid. 5'11", 203, right? So a little bit smaller, a little bit lighter, but he's got 96, potentially 97 speed. He's got 96 man coverage, which is like why and how. And he's got 92 zone. Like, what is that, man? That's bonkers. I don't get this. This card, if you put him down at your user spot and man him up, he's going to go to work. 91 block shed, 97 hit power as well. Like, you put Jair and Ronnie Lott together and they're gonna go to work and no one's gonna be able to throw the ball on you. Like, it looks crazy. So yeah, that's the last player we have to go over today. I love that Jair Brown like card art, by the way. It looks sick. But if you guys thought that there was maybe a better player at a certain position, or you wanted me to go over offensive linemen, like, drop a comment down below, let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please drop a like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you guys want to see next. I love you all. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.